it's very striking, both of you, because this law was passed that was supposed to cover the military benefits, and there was an assumption in Congress on the part of many that this would be included, that the benefits would extend to the family members. But then we're learning this morning, and you know, that the Department of Defense lawyers, the Department of Justice lawyers, and according to NBC, and we're working to see if we can verify this, White House lawyers stepped and said, oh, you know what, this actually does not extend to family members. That decision made in the heat of all of this shutdown, when you've got the congressional gym open and other things going on that don't seem to be taking priority, it looks, Alan, like it could be a make sure that everybody feels the pain campaign here.
It's a terrible decision, and you know, we certainly have the desire to point fingers. I'd like to know who made the decision. Whoever made it made a terrible decision, and you're absolutely correct. Keep the congressional gym open, but not take care of the death benefits for fallen soldiers. It's a terrible, terrible idea.
But
I'd like
is
to
it,
know who's
Alan,
responsible.
I mean, what I'm asking is this part of the program? You know, shut it down, don't let the World War II vets in, and then they went. Is this part of the sort of, I hate to say, you know, the PR campaign to make this painful for everybody, to point fingers politically and say, well, this is what you got? Because if it is, we've stepped over a pretty dangerous line.
I hope not. Look, I have my own view about who's responsible for the government shutdown in the first place, which may be the bigger issue, but I don't think this particular part of it should be a part of a political football, and whoever made this decision should be held responsible for making a terrible, terrible choice.
Do you think, Alan, that the president should come out, as Katie has suggested today, and say, I'm the commander-in-chief, these families are going to get this money, and they're going to get it today?
As commander-in-chief, I think it would be very, very helpful for him to say something like that.
Katie, do you expect that he will?
I'm not sure that he will. You know, he's been kind of absent in this entire debate. The only time we've seen him come out to talk to us is when he's complaining about House Republicans and John Boehner. He's not someone who usually comes out and takes responsibility. He didn't come out and talk about the World War II vets when they were barricaded from their own memorial at the direction of the White House. When the honor flight asked for the White House to open up that memorial up, they said no. I wouldn't be surprised if this came all the way from the top, and if this is part of making it hurt, the White House has a lot of explaining to do in a time when these families need.
I don't think this is the time to be playing politics on something like this. You're using this as an excuse to blame the White House, blame the president, blame Democrats.
I simply said he should come out and say something, Alan. I simply said he should come out and say something. He didn't say something when the World War II vets were outside of their memorial in wheelchairs, sitting there in front of barricades on the mall. He should come out and talk to these families directly, which he hasn't done. He's been absent in his leadership on this entire thing.
That is your opinion, and you're using this as an excuse to go. You're using this as an excuse to go after the commander-in-chief, which I think is an unfortunate way to play politics about something that's truly important.
Well, I mean, but Alan, it's a legitimate question.
We want to play politics. Let's talk about who's responsible for the shutdown in the first place.
You know what? It's a legitimate question, and we need to find out who made all of these decisions, right? Because we know decisions were made. 83% of the government is open. So the question is, the reports are this morning, the Department of Defense and the Pentagon and the Department of Justice, Pentagon and the Department of Justice, excuse me, and potentially White House lawyers. So people do need to be held accountable for these decisions because they're being made.
I agree. Let's find out who made the decision. And I just said before, that person should be held accountable.
All right, guys. Thank you. We'll see where it goes. We're going to be on top of it all morning.